Hi, Vanessa.
Hi.
Hi. I'm just going to put another light on because it looks a little bit dark. That's a bit better. Yes. It's what's the weather like there, Robin?
Cold, which isn't helping. You know, you're sitting here looking out at the grey, and Saturday was just like in the middle of winter. It was driving rain, the windows were rattling, and you're thinking, oh my God, the universe is, you know, letting loose on us.
Yes. Yeah, and if you're trapped indoors, it can make it feel even worse, can't it?
Yeah, it was a bit depressing.
Yes.
Because I'm of an age where that came in first. People over this age are not to go out. And I'm thinking, I'm all right.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And hi, Becky.
Hey, Anne, how are you?
Good, thank you. You?
Good. Well, scattered, but I'm good. I'm happy I'm here.
Good. All right, great. So there's quite a few people who have registered, so we'll just wait and see if they actually turn up. So we've got a couple of good questions come in as well, but I'm happy to answer your questions as we go through today as well, and just really help you to get back on track and step forward and be the leaders that you're meant to be during this time. Okay, we're being called to step forward, and that means overcoming a lot of our fears and things that are coming up for us. But it's really a time for us to be there for other people and be that leader and to step up, really.
I just picked up this card. I don't know whether you can see it.
It's supposed to relieve stress. What's it holding?
One he's got his colouring pens on the ground and somebody's coloured them stripes in.
Awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, colouring really relaxes you. So I might do some of that later. All right, so we're going to get started. So, thank you for joining me today. The others can join in, or I'll send them the recording. But what's the main thing that's coming up for you at the moment that you want help with? Who wants to go first?
Sure, I will. It probably is actually uncertainty, and the unknown. Obviously, we've never been through something like this before, so it's not knowing sort of not just how, because I'm certainly prepared to take each day as it comes. So I'm still sitting in a fairly positive, vibration. I think that's absolutely what people need to be seeing and hearing. So, I love listening to your lives, and they've been amazing. So keep them up. They really are fantastic. So great encouragement. Just I love, your focus, your outlook, and how, your positive, obviously, energy around this. It's just not knowing how long it might last for is probably the one thing that's really, we'll get through it.
Yes.
And no one knows how long. So we just need to stay strong and take each day as it comes.
Yeah, definitely. And I think within Australia, because there's not been any definite decisions made, and each day the goalposts change or the rules change, there is all of that uncertainty that keeps coming up, and it makes it very difficult for us to know what's going to happen. But what I can say to you, Vanessa, is we're really learning how to let go of being control freaks.
Absolutely.
We are all control freaks. We want to know what's going to be happening. We want to know where the next client's coming from. We want to know, what's happening for the whole week when we start on a Monday. And it can't be like that anymore. We've got to let go and just really come back to the present moment. Even trying to think of what your posts are going to be for next week is too far ahead.
Right.
You've literally got to just be centered in that moment and then send it.
Yeah. I'm okay with that. I've sort of probably been doing that. Sorry, you know, on my personal page, you know, just socials in general, I'm like, what will I like to say today? Like, you know, I saw a beautiful moment at the beach when I went for a walk, and it was literally the sun shining through the clouds, which I posted to my friends. Like, that vision for me, the look of that, which was so powerful, that's actually going to be what I think of now, because it was like I felt like that was a sign for me.
Yeah.
Just to look through the light at the end of the tunnel. There'll be one. Just keep looking for it. So that's definitely, I've been sort of saying to, you know, my friends and family, I think this is our reset button. Like, that's how I'm looking at it. Reset, refocus, you know, assess what we've been doing with our lives and our health and all that sort of thing. I think that's, like, I sort of always joked about finding a pause button, because someone must have hit the fast forward button. There must be a pause. Yeah. This is the reset.
Definitely, so, without a doubt. Like, when we all came into 2020, we knew it was going to be a big year. Like, unconsciously, we all knew that it was going to be huge for us.
Changes. Yeah.
No one knew how big it was going to be and what was going to happen. No one. I think Bill Gates predicted this 5 years ago.
Really?
But, you know, most of us had no idea what's going to happen. I really believe the universe is just getting back into balance.
Right. You know, with floods and fire and now, it's not quite famine, but it's, you know.
Yeah. It's like the universe is bringing everyone home. We are all having to be home with our families and have that connection again with each other, which most people don't have anymore because they're so busy all the time. Working and doing what they need to do. They don't really see their kids or don't spend quality time with their partner because it's just the doing of what's necessary to survive the day. And now all that's changing and people have got all this time together. It's really a chance to get to know each other again, have connection with family and not just outside people. And the universe is really balancing so much stuff, like all the CO2 levels have completely come down because there's no planes in the air, you know, there's no factories working, so there's no CO2 being splurted out anywhere. The rivers are cleaning themselves. You know, when you really think about what's going on, it is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's
beautiful. We've just got to be patient with it.
Yeah, patience. Patience is definitely.
Yeah, we're
writing that down.
and the other thing as well, we're all learning how to behave differently as well because we're so used to human contact, like, and touching people, and you know, even just when I'm walking my dog this morning and having to I only come across 10 people, but just noticing that the distance we was keeping from each other, it's just really strange to get used to that because normally you don't. You just walk past or you have a chat and they stroke near and stuff. And there's like none of that. So all of that connection's going.
Well, I don't think that's good though.
It's not a good thing on the outside world at the moment, but when we can all get back to normality, it's going to be fantastic.
Well, I suppose that's one thing we actually take for granted, that's what we have, that's actually what we need. But when it's taken away, how valuable it is. And I think that's actually what it is. It's actually making people appreciate what we've always taken for granted.
Yes. Yeah, so, like toilet rolls even.
Yes. Food. Or even having stocked shelves when you go to the supermarket. Like, who was ever grateful for that? No one. Till it's not there.
It's everything that we're being shown. We're going back to basics. We're being shown what is important to us and we're going back to the roots of who we are, really. And so it's really important that we have patience at this time and we don't let the panic get in the way. You know, like, I'm not watching the news or anything because I know that I'll be watching a TV program at night time and then the Prime Minister's on for half an hour. So I'm going to get everything that I need to know in that space. I don't need to have the TV on all day long with updates and more information. And, you know, it can really bring you down and keep you in a place of fear. And when you're in that place of fear, that's when you can catch colds and become ill or get stressed. And we don't want that. We need to keep our vibration high so that we can really stay in that place and be able to keep moving forward.
Yes,
and Vanessa,
sorry.
No, it's right. I was just going to say the research that shows uncertainty turns stress on, so just realising that when you're uncertain like that, you're just going to turn on all the stress response in your brain.
Yeah. Do you know that if you spend 8 hours of worrying or being stressed, it's like doing 40 hours of hard work. That is what you're putting your body through. So the more you can do to reduce any stress or anxiety, the better your body's going to be able to cope with what's going on internally and be able to stay much healthier.
Oh, there's a beautiful Australian girl. What does she call herself? Pub Choir. Have you guys seen it?
No.
Oh, look it up. Look, she's been doing some work overseas. I only saw her recently for the first time. What she did was she put some posts out. She sang that song, Everything is Beautiful in Its Own Way, I think it was. Can't remember the song now. But she had the 3 parts. So she did a post of this part, and she did a post of that part, and she did a post of that part, and said, this is for the high singers, this is for the men, and this is for the lower women. And practice, and then send your video in with what you've done. And if you want to have some little pieces of you doing something, in the pieces where there's no singing, we'll show those. So the screen's full of all these people, women with their babies, and somebody else is doing something else, but they're all singing this beautiful harmony that somebody has put all these voices from all around the world together.
Yeah, fantastic.
It was just like, I thought, I had tears streaming down my face because it was just so beautiful, and the concept and the idea of it was just so lovely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, when you think that all of the artists and singers are going to be at home now, and they're just going to be writing songs and, coming up with new music, can you imagine what's going to happen when they start producing it again? It's just going to be beautiful. The
world is going to be an amazing place on the other side of this, right? Like, I can't wait for those celebrations. It's going to be amazing. So I'm focusing on that. Like, I can't wait to be on the other side, and the dreams that will have been made, and the focuses, and the how amazing, how much more giving and how much more connected we'll actually be, because we're so grateful to be able to have a party, or catch up with people and all that sort of stuff. I just think that's going to be pretty epic.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, get back to all the things that we've taken for granted.
Exactly.
So I heard one of you Aussies saying, let's have a takeaway party. You get whatever you want in your place, but we can't even do that in New Zealand. There's no takeaway. There's nothing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So there's no food, full stop, unless you go to the supermarket. That's the only.
Yeah. Yeah. So we don't know what stage it will get to here, because even our shopping malls are open at the moment. So we'll just have to wait and see, really. But how are you doing, Becky?
Yeah, I'm okay. Like, just listening today to what's already going on with you guys is I'm getting a really strong message to just lay down and rest. Like, coming into this, I felt quite scattered because I keep thinking, opportunity-wise, like, while everybody else is, I'm going to say down, but I know we're not down. We're just in downtime.
Yeah.
But that's sort of an opportunity to get up, and I'm thinking, because I've got the day off work today, and I'm thinking, get up, mow the lawn, and then do all this self-work, and then, do my personal admin, like car regos and pay phone bills and stuff like that. And then I thought, and then I've got heaps of other things to get cracking on, like I've been setting up a healing room and doing different things, and like it was just go, like, yes, use this as an opportunity while everyone else is sleeping, get up and make the most of it, like, sort of thing. And just listening to you guys has made me sort of go, well, no, just lay down and rest. Like, so I'm getting mixed messages, but getting a strong call to lay down and rest, like as everything's unfolding now.
So do you think that feeling to lay down and rest is actual hidden fear coming up?
It's probably overwhelm, actually.
Yeah. And is that overwhelm that it's time for you to step forward? Honestly, it's scary. It can have such an effect on the body that the body just wants to go and hide and wants to go and go to sleep.
Yeah, well, I don't know how to. I know that I've got some sort of magic in me, and I know that when I work with people, magic happens, and I know when I'm on song, magic happens. But I also know that when you do well and you're doing what is seemingly right, you just get torn down.
And that's always going to happen when you're a leader. You know, everyone's going to want to fire their arrows at you because they're going to want to keep you small, and they don't want you to climb out of the bucket. They want to keep you in with all of them. And you just have to make a decision that is not where you want to be. You know, if you've got amazing gifts, this is the time for you to step up and let people know. And the right people who want to work with you will find you, and you'll make such a difference in their lives.
So I'm feeling it quite strong, like in my workplace recently. I started to achieve in like mainstream work and just got torn down really through another person's actions.
Yeah.
Deliberately giving misleading information about me for people to discredit me. And I know in one mind I'm like, what? Like, that's so far from the truth. Why would I even go there and entertain that idea? But for some reason I'm hanging on to it, and it's like, it's a bit of a bugbear that, something else is coming now. I don't know why I'm hanging on to it. Maybe it's just another excuse to keep myself down, like use someone else's reasoning because I was running out of my own reasons.
Oh yeah, if you run out of your own, you'll always be supplied from the outside world with more. But like, how is it serving you, holding on to that pain of what's gone on in the past?
Well, it's not serving me, and I felt that I needed to stand up to what was happening to me because it's happening to everyone else in the workplace as well, and I was ignoring it before. Like, I was saying, it's all right, don't worry about it, and we could see it. And then when it hit me, like, even the main or the CEO was saying, what's with you? You're the only person that this person hasn't turned on. What have you done so good, and blah blah blah. But then next thing, that did fire up on me as well. And then now I just think, well, am I the one with the strength to carry this through, to bring it to attention so that the behavior stops? And so I've started doing that, going, well, yeah, I will go through this. I will bring it to attention and call for the behavior to stop.
Yeah.
It's abuse, it's bullying, it's all sorts of ugly things.
Yeah.
And but going through it, I'm like, why don't I just walk away as well? Like, these people have to learn to fight for themselves.
But in another way, yourself though, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So you've got to make sure that you're doing this for you first. Okay. And you're stepping up to be the leader for you. And then it's up to them whether they follow you. We always have a choice. We can either be the leader or we can be the follower.
Yeah, I just heard very strongly then to lead for me, like, not worry about who I'm meant to be leading for.
Yeah.
It's leading for me.
Yeah, you're doing it because you respect yourself enough that you're not going to tolerate that behaviour anymore.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, well, I've stamped it out of my personal life. Like, I don't accept that anymore.
That's right.
life, so why would I accept it in my work life?
Yeah. You know, and all the experiences that happen to us are just more things for us to learn and enable us to be stronger, because we're always moving to that next level. You know, people say to me, oh, it's really easy for you, you've got a really successful business, but I've had to work bloody hard to get where I am. And it doesn't mean that now I'm at this level, all the crap stops. It's just the same crap at a different level, do you know? So it's just, you're always moving forward, and you're taking the experiences that happen to you to learn, so that you keep moving forward, you keep becoming stronger, and you're making sure that you just don't talk yourself out of success. Sorry, Robin, what's that?
Oh, I just didn't want to interrupt, but I thought, you know, when you said it's showing respect for ourselves, and putting those boundaries in place is just so important.
Yeah, definitely. Boundaries are so important in our personal lives and in our business lives as well. You've got to have boundaries. Otherwise, people don't know what the rules are. They don't know what your rules are, and so they get confused, and you can't then moan at them for doing something that they don't know is not allowed. You know, so if you step forward as a leader, Becky, and say, I'm not tolerating this behaviour anymore, and you're doing it for yourself, that's the main thing that you need to do. And then it's up to the other people to either back you up or they don't. And that's not what you need to pay attention to either. It's really about this for you.
Yeah, I've got some really good exercises unfolding in my head, actually.
Yeah. You know, we have to look after ourselves first. If we can't look after ourselves, then there's no point in doing anything for anyone else, because we come from a place of resentment, anger, bitterness, you know, and that's just not the way how we need to work.
Yeah.
All right. So for you, like for all of you, it's really about stepping up now and not talking yourself out of being successful. You know, if we all took an exam in how to talk ourselves out of being successful, we'd all pass with flying colours. But it's really time that we, you know, stand up for what we believe in. We make a difference in the world. We've all got such unique skills, you know. There's never any competition from anyone. Like that, if I thought that there was competition from other healers, I would have so many people queuing outside my door to want to work with me that I physically would never have a minute's break. So I know that there needs to be hundreds of other healers, thousands, because of the amount of people that need help. So there's never any like fear of competition or anything like that. If I can help people to step into their power and become healers or use their magic to do what's needed, what they've come here to do, then that's fantastic, because that's going to make the world a better place. And that's what it's about. We've all come here during this time, during this really difficult time. Like, we all agreed to come here, and we knew subconsciously what was going to be happening, and we was like, yep, count me in, I'm there. And now we're here, we're all like, ooh. But it's really, you know, you've got this.
It's finding that inner strength, right? To really believe in oneself.
Yeah.
To do what you need to do for you, but also help others you know, as that unfolds.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Like I had a client yesterday who should come to me, and she was nearly having like panic attacks, anxiety at the start of the session. She was in a terrible state, like sobbing, and I was just talking to her in the beginning, but all of this stuff was coming up, and just working with her for that hour just made such a difference to her. Like, she felt so calm afterwards. She felt like she knew what she had to do next. And it's really about learning that there is help for us, for all of us. to be able to keep stepping forward into what we need to do. And, you know, after that session, to just know what a difference I'd made for her, it's just fantastic. It's why I do what I do. She could have been suffering for weeks and weeks, and also dragging all of the people around her down as well, which then has an ongoing effect. Whereas now she's back, she's got that inner strength that we had to work on. Some stuff had to be cleared around her inner strength and belief in herself. And, you know, she's ready to move forward and do what she needs to do. But yeah, Vanessa, it's so important, that inner strength.
Not always easy to find, but it's absolutely there if you want to tune into it.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't take no for the answer.
That's right. Yeah. And I think it really goes back to like living in the present moment. Like when we're in that present moment, we can really feel the inner strength if we listen or we feel it. It's when we start thinking about the future or not being in control or what's going to happen, all of that, it just whips it out of us, you know. And it's about containing your energy so that you can really be in alignment with what you're meant to be doing at this time. Yeah. We're all leaders. We're all leaders in our own way. And we're being called now to just really be seen and heard. No excuses.
No excuses.
Yeah. Because that's the thing, you know, as I said, we can make up thousands of excuses. we would just keep writing. But you don't want to be the best kept secret. You know, who wants to be the best singer in the whole wide world, but no one knows about it? Yeah. Who wants to be the best athlete in the world, but no one actually ever gets to see them, or they never get to show their skills to other people? You know, it's no good being the best kept secret.
And if you are good at something, it's it's really your obligation to share it, right?
Yeah.
It is something that you can to give to people, to help them in no matter what way it is. If you're keeping that to yourself, yeah, something you need to share.
Definitely. And you don't need to do it in a bragging way or anything like that. It's just, you're just letting people know what you do, and the right people will find you. You know. All right. So who's got another question? No? All right, well, let me go to one of the ones that was sent in, and they're not actually here. So so Janet said, how do I stay calm when I'm doing Facebook Lives? And I got asked this question a lot this week. Now, if you'd have known the work I've had to do on myself to do Facebook Lives, you wouldn't believe me. Like, I can stand on a stage and talk to people, no problem, all right? But doing Facebook Lives just was freaking me out big time. So for her to ask me that question, and then other people message me with the same question, I was thinking, oh my God.
I want to know how you did it, Anne.
Yeah. So regarding staying calm, like, and it's not just about Facebook Lives, it's about everything that's going on at the moment, that really you have to be a bit ignorant. You have to stay away from all of the drama that's going on. You have to stay away from all of the people who want to tell you how bad it is out there. And really know that as long as you've got food in the cupboard, right, and you're safe and warm, you're going to get through this. All right. And it's about knowing that you've got the inner strength to know what you need to do each day to keep moving forward and to keep looking after yourself and your families as well. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, like, for me, my son wants to be a doctor, so he's just started uni, and my daughter's in the second year of nursing, And so they are very scientific and are quite interested in all of the facts that are going on. Like, my son is like an encyclopedia of information. Like, it astounds me how much information he can retain and how clever he is. And he was just talking to me yesterday, and the information that he was telling me, I'm like, how do you know this stuff? And he went, well, we're learning it at uni, or I'm finding it out on the like YouTube and things like that. And you know, they're coming from a different place from me, like what I believe about the virus. Like, if I start to talk to them about the universe being brought back into balance, they're like, Mum, you're talking a lot of crap. Because they're so scientific with it. But that's okay. I don't need to fight them over it. I don't need to try and change their minds or anything. One day they may come around to my way of thinking, maybe they won't. You know, it doesn't matter. It's just that option's there and it's open for them. If I thought that I had to try and change their minds, I would go nuts, because it's not my job to change their mind. You know, they can see the work that I do, and I can see what they do, and there's benefits to both. And eventually they will start to mould and really change, but it's not my job to change their minds. So you've just got to know what your beliefs are, what your boundaries are. You've got to know what you've come here to do, and then each day just keep taking those steps and following through. Like, for me, if I had to write down a Facebook plan of what I was going to do for the next 5 days, it would freak me out and I wouldn't be able to do it. So what I have to do is, like, literally 5 minutes before I decide I'm going to do one, I write down a couple of things I want to mention, and then I go with it. Mm-hmm. Because otherwise I'd spend 8 hours worrying about doing a 5-minute Facebook Live.
And it's what I did with my first one.
Yeah. And it's just
over and over and over.
I know, and it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. You know, don't pick fights where you don't need to, or don't cause yourself stress where you don't need to. All right, this is a time for you to just really look after yourself, make sure you're eating properly. I heard this morning that vitamin C, we need to be taking 3 grams of vitamin C a day, so like 3 times a day, 1,000 grams each, to really boost what's going on.
And zinc.
Yeah, and zinc, magnesium, and vitamin A and D. So yeah, if you think that you're low on your vitamins, then just really start boosting them up as well, because that will help your immune system. Okay, the other thing that I do is I just really trust. I just really trust that this is meant to be happening at this time, and everything's going to be okay. It's going to be different when we come out from the other side, because there's going to be huge amounts of changes going on, but it's about trust.
And do you think the question also may have meant not just lives now, but lives in general? You know, like how, you know, you've already answered some of it in the sense that you give time, or you don't spend time beforehand, you just write a couple of points. But what helped you get to that point?
I think it does come down to the trust, Robin. Knowing that I'm going to be okay. And this is what I'm meant to be doing to help more people. You know, and okay, so another example is I posted some information that had come from a top London hospital onto Facebook, and I shared it with a few friends as well. The people who was telling me it was fake and then posting other links to different information, and I should get my facts straight and things like this. And like, look, it was just some information. It's come from a top London hospital. I wanted to share it with you. It's just about cleanliness and what you can do to like protect yourself a little bit more, and take it how you want to take it. you know, I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm not trying to say that I'm an expert in coronavirus or anything like that. It was just some information that could make a difference to someone's life. And if that had happened to me years ago, I would have been freaking out that people were attacking me. And now I'm just like, it's your issue, it's not mine.
Mm.
And it's just being in, but it's just for me being in a completely different energetic space. And you, once you're in that space, you see things differently. And things that used to bother you don't anymore.
Mm.
So you tend to stay calmer.
Surrender
Yeah.
a bit.
Yeah, surrender and trust. And that you believe in yourself and what you do.
Yeah. I'm really getting strongly our core, like, because I've been thinking a bit about focus lately, and you know, once we focus and we've got persistence and consistency in that area, bang, it happens. But it just really remaining to our core beliefs and what we're about. And I would assume most of us on here about spreading the love, spreading the joy, spreading the good news information sort of thing. And remaining, well, for me, that's my thing. So remaining true to the core in whatever else comes our way, it's just going to rebound off. It's just going to flick off because we're so aligned with who we are.
Yeah, definitely. You know, as a woman leader, it's your responsibility to stay calm in these times and to not get caught up in all of the drama and everything else, and to really look after yourself, because then you can help so many more people. You can choose. You can either hop on the drama bus with everyone who's living in fear and not make a difference, or you can choose to step forward and just do what scares you. You'll survive. And it's about taking that step forward and just having the courage. Like, confidence never comes before courage. You'll only become confident when you have done something more than a few times, and then you have more courage to keep doing it, and then the confidence keeps building. All right, so don't wait until you're confident to do something, because it's just not going to happen. All right, so just keep moving forward.
That's a big nugget for me. Confidence never comes before courage.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's always scary the first few times you're doing something, because it's just completely new. Remember when you was learning to drive a car?
Mm-hmm.
And now you can drive a car and you're not worried by anything, and you just do it without even thinking. So,
unless you're driving in Mexico City.
Yeah. Or Bali. Yeah. All right, so another couple of tips. If you're in self-isolation or you can't go out, perfect opportunity to start decluttering your house and to start learning about feng shui and how you can, do your office so that it's much more energetic for the way that you want to work. Clear out the kitchen cupboards, get rid of food that's out of date and things like that. You know, go through each room, go through your wardrobe. This is a time to clear out the stuck, stale energy at home, and really have a deep clean as well, so that your space is then in alignment with who you're stepping forward to be as well.
I'm just smiling because I've started, but before you get there, there's more mess.
Always.
Got to make a mess to make it clean.
Yeah, and that's why I always only do one room at a time. Like, do not go and start on the kitchen and then go to the living room or to a bedroom, because the whole house will be in a mess. So just do what you can do. Set an hour or 2 hours on your phone so the alarm will go off, and see how much you can do. You know, play games with yourself. How much can I get done in the next hour or so? But then once you've done that, make sure that you're taking the time out to rest as well. Really important that we're resting, especially if we are like empathic, and we're picking up people's energies as well. It's really important that we take time to rest. We have salt baths, and we eat and drink nutritious food as well. All right. Okay, and I have another so another question was how if you're living in a household where there's negative people, how do you keep yourself positive during this time? And it's really about just not letting other people make your decisions for you. Like, it's time for that inner strength to know, to come forward and to know who you are, and have your boundaries in place. Tell them that you're not interested in listening to it anymore. All right. And it can cause an argument or a bit of friction at first, but they'll get the message. You can say to them in a really nice way, when you talk about things like that, it really brings me down and I don't want to be feeling that way. So can you please stop? And it can be like that simple. I think, like, another example, my husband and I walk our dog every night as well, and we was out walking, and the coronavirus was around, but it wasn't that big. But my husband, they'd started to make some changes at his workplace, and for the whole time we was out, he was talking about corona, right? And by the time I got back, my ears were actually hurting; they was aching. Not for anything that he was like saying. I think just energetically it was really affecting me, because it's not an energy I want to be in. And I just said to him at the end, I said, do you know that you've spoken about it for the whole time we've been walking around? And he went, no. So it's not even in people's consciousness that they're doing it. And so sometimes it's up to you to bring it to their attention, so that they can then make the decision whether they want to stay in that low energy or not. You know, it's like you're opening the doors for them to just say, do you know that you do this? Because sometimes we've got no idea what we're doing. No idea at all. So make your own decisions, have your boundaries in place, and just tell people, you know, the divorce rate is going to go up without a doubt, because people are in such confined spaces with people, and they've forgotten who they married, for instance, or, you know, who they fell in love with, or their children are driving them nuts, you know, because there's no break at all. So you've really got to know what you're willing to accept, and then let other people know. And you can do it in a really nice way, but yeah, just let them know. So what's coming up for you at the moment?
No, I just felt a beautiful breeze come past me, and I looked outside and it's nice and sunny. It's a beautiful day, and I just think, like, I've only just been working in my own business from home for 12 months, and I have so enjoyed being at home.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's the worst thing to be at home. So, you know, doing things like, I'm like, oh man, I've got so much to do here. Like, I've got so many things I'd love to do. And I'd love to sit down and colour in like the zebra on your card. It totally crossed my mind that I'm like, you know what? I've never got time. I love colouring. If there are any children that ever visit me at my home, we sit at the table, because it's not child-proof, and we colour in, and I get excited about colouring in.
Yeah.
Because it is so therapeutic. It really, really is. And I just think, we've been gifted some time, not how we would want it, not on holidays, not on that. And I'm like, I actually think there'll be a lot of good. There's a lot of uncertainty, and there's a lot of sadness, and there's death, and I'm aware of all that. But there's always got to be something good that comes out of it. And if it is to get to know your family, there's so many things. So I'm actually, feeling really good about it. And when I feel a breeze, and I'm aware that breeze is there, it's like someone tapped me on the shoulder or gave me a little pat, or, you know, something. I'm like, Yeah. It's just
Yeah.
Funny that you asked that right at that moment.
Yes. Yeah. It can be like a cleansing as well when you feel that breeze. It's just like it's released.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes it's all unconscious what's going on. Like you don't even need to know what it was that needed clearing, and it can just happen, you know, just by someone saying something. It happens. So Becky, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm getting isolation is good. Like I went to bed last night thinking, oh, you know, I felt good living alone. Woke up this morning thinking, what the hell is going on with my partner and I? Like, why aren't we living together? Why all this separation still? And then when you said, just before you started talking about the walk with your partner and how we talked about Corona, well, my partner, he's just very heavy at the moment with, like, he's got beautiful, beautiful, beautiful heart and just such a sensitive, caring person, but he's so wound up in everything else. And when he talks about things, I'm thinking, wow, I'm alone, because then I don't have to listen to that 24/7, because I do, like, that's, you know, we listen to each other. So and then I don't have to be in that energy where it's pulling me down, like the isolation. And the reason for me living alone is because I need my own energy. Like, I have my own vibration going on, and if there's not a lot of people matching that around me at the moment, then that's fine. It doesn't have to be. It just means to get in my own space and enjoy my own vibration.
Yeah. But how would it be if you had the talk with him and just said, you know, put some boundaries into place? Like, it's okay for everyone to vent when they first come home from work, because we all need to have a release about what's going on or what's been worrying us and things like that. But, you know, keep it contained to an hour max, you know, and then change the subject.
He does, but every day it's something different. Like, he's in aviation, so, you know, they went to 3 days a week, now 2 days a week, and all sorts of things are happening there. But then it goes into the home loan, and then into this, and then into that, and then the daughter's in year 12 schooling, and then there's always something to be miserable about.
Oh, definitely. Like, you know.
And if he can find it, he will. And I recognize it, because, to be honest, I was that person as well before and it was a long, hard fight to get out of it. And I recognized that other people were saying things to me when I was in it, and I just wasn't listening and coming out of it. So it's no good. I don't feel it's that good for me. I don't know. I don't see a point in saying anything to him when to me, I don't feel he's ready to listen. Like, just let him go through it, and one day you'll come out of it and go, oh, what was that all about?
I don't agree with that, Becky. I just think it's another excuse for you to not step up and speak your mind and say what you need to say.
You're busting me all the time here, but it's good. I like it.
Otherwise, he doesn't know what your opinion is. And if you don't say anything, he's going to keep talking to you for 5 hours about it.
I can't even get a word in. He talks a lot.
Even just turning it around and saying to him, can you imagine how fantastic it's going to be when everyone can start flying again and being able to go on holidays and travel, and, you know, they're going to be so desperate to get out there and do what they want to do that you're not going to be able to get a holiday very easily, or you're not going to, you know, that everything is just going to take off in such a huge way when this clears. So talk to him about that side of it, like get him to start thinking about how good it's going to be. And the banks are being very lenient with putting home loans on pause at the moment. For 3 months, I think they're letting people do it for. Don't think that that's free money though, because they want it back.
Yeah, he's pretty savvy.
So just start talking to him. Speak up
about the positive things.
Yeah.
And also I think it's a matter of, he may not know how that's affecting you, exactly like Anne, when you said to your husband, did you realise that, you know, for that whole hour that we went walking, you were talking about all the negative aspects of, and, you know, that he may not realise the effect that he's having on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it my business to tell him that?
Yeah, it's your life.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's your life and your relationship.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally.
God, you're going to make me cry again.
That's okay.
Let's just release him. But, you know, we can all hide.
I don't know how to tell people things. Like, just
Write them a letter.
Becky, it can be as simple as what I've just said. Like even just saying to him, have you thought about how good this is going to be when it's over?
What are you worried about?
I think being turned away is coming to mind for some reason.
But you're doing that to yourself anyway.
But I know that's not. Oh, sorry, you broke up then.
You're doing that anyway to yourself. Like before you're even saying anything, you're telling yourself that you're okay to live by on your own and things like that. So you're trying to justify it. But really deep down in your heart, because like I just felt how tight your heart became and all up into your throat area. And you would love nothing more than to have a partner who you live with and can talk to, and you're both at the same level.
Yeah.
And as a leader, it's your job to lift him up and not let him drag you down.
Yeah, my mum keeps surfacing actually, and it's probably laughable, but I'm 48 now, but even like I used to think when I hit 40 and I go and visit my mum, I think, shit, what other 40-year-olds is too scared to tell their mum the truth? It's not that I'm doing anything wrong, I just never have the courage to differ from her opinion, because she gets so worked up if anyone does. So I've always just I guess I go, okay, that's a big ugly mess. I go through, and I'm sorry, I don't want to bring it to everyone else, but I go through passages where I want to stand up and I want to vocalize, and I think I don't do it because it's probably not come out often enough to do it in a kind and simple way. Like I haven't practiced and rehearsed that enough because I never do it. And then when I do come out, I guess I got my I've come out in a way where you express with anger or something like that.
Yeah, and that's because the emotion has been suppressed for a long time, and then something will trigger you and you'll just like blurt it all out because it's just been so contained.
That was your fist up.
Yeah, it's like blowing up a balloon. You keep putting your air into it, it'll keep going, but eventually something's going to touch it and it will just pop. And that's what happens to the emotions that get stuck in our body when we don't speak up and say what we need to say. The main thing for you, Becky, is not to think too much about what you need to say, because that will just hold you back, and then you won't say anything at all. You've really got to decide in the moment. Like if he's talking to you or your mum's talking to you and you really don't agree with what they're saying, just tell them, I don't agree with what you're saying. Or do you realise how long you've been talking about the same thing for? You know, whatever comes up to you in that moment that you're saying in your head, just express it.
Yeah, because I went into like, I used to agree, like saying, oh yeah, sort of thing. And then I thought about it and I thought, I don't agree. Like, why am I doing that? So then I just went quiet, and then Mum sort of picked up and she goes, I know you don't think that because you're not saying anything. And then I think, no, I'm just listening, Mum. But yeah, so I still didn't, I guess she gave me an opportunity really by saying, I know you don't agree. And I'm like, oh no, it's all right, I'm just listening.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I still didn't actually voice my opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, I probably have to do that. And as you say, confidence never comes before courage, but just have the courage to start practicing in all conversations, contributing my opinion.
Yeah. People want to know what your opinion is. They don't want to talk to the wall and not get any response back. They want to know what you think. They want to have your ideas or your thought process on things. They want you to help them change the way they think. And when you don't say anything or you don't speak up, you're missing opportunities to help them.
Yeah, and it's actually really nice to share and be part of someone else's growth.
Yeah.
Because you always get your own growth out of that as well.
Definitely. Yeah.
You can still be a beautiful listener, Becky, and I do feel that's probably why people probably do talk to you, because you listen to them, which makes them feel important. But you can't have a conversation with someone if they're not giving anything back. And whatever that might be, whether it's in agreement, whether it's, oh, have you thought about it this way? Because I know that's what I've been saying to a lot of people. Well, what about if, what do you think about if? It can always become nearly a suggestion, and see what their response is. You don't have to say, I don't agree, because it's all part of the delivery a little bit with certain people. I love people that are upfront with me. I admire people that I know exactly where they stand. And that is a beautiful attribute. The strength that they have to stand in themselves in front of others, no matter what the consequences are, that's their opinion, and everybody's absolutely entitled to that.
Yeah.
But sometimes you show other people how to look at it in a different light.
Thank you. I agree. And that's why I like when Anne pulls you up on something, because I love. To me, truth is love and love is truth. So I love being called out, because every time I know I'll grow from it. So yeah, I need to put myself in the other person's position and go, well, when I say call them out, I don't mean to say I do it with, as you say, it's all in the delivery, but, just voice another opinion or give, whatever truth that I believe, share that.
Yeah.
You're just giving them another way to think about it instead of their own set blinkered way.
And if at the start, for your own self, if it doesn't have to be about things that really, really matter to you, like if it can just be a little bit of a difference of opinion about something, but you're not really, fully engaged in whether it matters or not, that could be a testing of the waters, if you like, rather than having to launch into something immediately because we've told you to, sort of thing. Yeah. Would that make it easier for you to just sort of start on smaller things?
Yeah, I think I'm someone who is quite real though. So it needs to be with the people that matter, like my partner, my mum.
Yeah. No, I didn't mean the people. I just meant about the topic.
Yeah, because then yeah.
It just takes practice, and they're not going to leave you or reject you or anything. They may go into a bit of a sulk for a little while, but it's only until they start to think about it differently.
Yes,
and then they come round. Yeah. Does that help?
It does, and I'm having so many flashbacks of my mum and dad's communication style and all sorts of stuff, and even it didn't work out with my daughter's dad, and that was because I thought, he said to me, why didn't you tell me what was going on? And I thought, well, it's not up to me to make you change, you should be able to see that yourself. So it kind of, yeah, he's like, I didn't get any warning. I didn't know you felt that way. Like, you never expressed anything.
Yeah.
So I see how, like, me not expressing things can have adverse effects as well.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. And you're not being true to yourself. Because when we don't speak up, we then go and think about it, and then all the emotions keep building up, and then we don't have a night's sleep, so our body don't heal, and it's just ongoing, where you could have said 2 sentences to him, get it out in the open, and it's finished. Oh, we've just lost her. Oh, there she is.
Yeah, my battery's getting that. Yeah, I'm really resonating with lots of stuff from everybody, and a big thing that is keep coming back to me is I always heard my dad, when mum and dad were going through a separation, and just prior that, Dad used to call mum a nagger, like he always complained about mum nagging, and I think that planted a seed in me. Don't ever tell a man, to pick up.
You would never be a nagger. You would have to be nagging for hours and hours and hours. You're literally just telling someone to think.
Yeah. So I've always been very mindful, like, and I see my brother's relationships, my dad and everyone, and I just think, I don't want to be labelled as a nagger, like females are generally labelled as. So they're the ones giving the love and offering all the support. It's not nagging.
You've got this. You can do it.
Are you a singer? Do you sing?
No. I sing, but not in front of everyone.
I didn't mean to people necessarily, but like some people, I'm always singing. Or especially if there's some music on, I'll sing with it.
I go through stages of having theme songs. I was like Ally McBeal for a while. They always had some sort of theme song playing.
Right. I just wondered for your throat, like I've seen your hands up around your throat a lot, and this is part of it, isn't it? Your throat chakra, not being able to express yourself. Just thought, well, just start using your vocal cords. I don't know.
Felt myself using my hands a lot talking today, but I have recently bought some art canvases and some paints, and I wouldn't. I'd like to consider myself an artist because I want to be one, but I just got to put the actual paint on a brush and get it on canvas too. But yeah, I've just, with this downtime, I've enrolled in an online art class. So
fantastic.
Hopefully that's the start of expression.
Yes. Yeah. Brilliant. Okay. Anyone else got any questions?
No, all good. It's been so wonderful to chat with all of you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much.
Always enjoy the groups, that are in a similar, sorry, I've just got something, similar sort of consciousness, if you like.
Yes.
Sounds a bit highfalutin, but what I'm talking about when I say that.
Yeah.
We're done with that.
Because I've been on a couple of groups recently where there's strident voices and and I just thought, I've just got to get off. I can't stand this. And then to come on a group like this and I just melt and it feels good. Thanks, Anne.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you to you other two as well. But yeah.
So keep this energy with you for the rest of the day. If you start struggling or going into fear or anxiety, bring yourself back into the present moment. Go and wash your hands, feel the water on your hands and the soap. Really like ground yourself again and just know that you're safe and everything's going to be okay. And this is just a beautiful experience that we're going through that is creating history, and we're part of that.
I love that idea of washing your hands of the negative thought, of the whatever is,
Yeah.
It's not, I have seen some little clips about it's not just physical, but you saying that then just went.
Yeah, definitely. It's a cleansing. Cleansing. All right, lovely. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I look forward to speaking with you all again soon.
Thanks, and bye-bye. Thank you, ladies.
Bye.
Bye-bye.